Guys, so pistons are going in. I got piston number 1 and piston number 2, and obviously they're still not engaged onto the crank. So as you can see, it's just floating right here. This is my piston number 2, just kind of chilling right there. But we'll get it torqued down. We got these pistons cleaned up. Had my brother here clean them up. But yeah, everything's gonna go in, guys. Right now we're just doing a little bit of head work, where my brother is. He's doing a little bit of valve lapping. That's the heads. That's what the inside of it looks like. So we got the valves out, springs out. It's looking pretty good. Looking very decent. Very decent. But we'll keep going, guys. This thing's got to get put back together ASAP. Alright guys, so we're working on piston number 8 now. My brother over there, he's working on valve lapping. So I'll show you guys what that technique's all about, or you'll pretty much see what he's doing over there. So he's valve lapping. I'm gonna go ahead and take care of piston number 8. I should have the notch right here. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8. Get a close up here. Let me push this piston a little bit out so the skirts poke out. That way it's a little bit easier to hang on the block as I punch it in. So I want to make sure that the skirts pop out a little bit. Alright, so there we are. Again, pointer to the front, just like the rest of these. And then I have my punch right here. I got 8 little indents, meaning that this is piston number 8. You just want to be careful with these back pistons. You want to make sure you clock it in there correctly, or else you'll hit the crank. Alright. I'm just going to grab my hammer, punch it in. If you add some lubricant, it helps. Just to slide the piston in. There we go. Piston's in. Got a lot of lubricant in there, just so it slides through. Okay guys, so we're finishing up with the number 6 piston. Pretty much all of them are in there. So this is number 6. I'm going to go ahead and push this down a little bit so I can get some of the skirt to hold onto the block. So I'm going to push it out just like so. Just so it's just, sticking out barely. Now when I put this in, again, our dot is facing to the front, as well as my rod is indicating 6 points, 2, 4, 6, meaning that this is a number 6 piston. When I'm looking inside of the block, I'm just making sure that I'm not nicking anything, making sure that that thing's gonna not hit the crank directly, because the crank's right here, closer to this side. So I'll make sure that this circle is very aligned to how these are. And I'm gonna give it one last little grip here. That one's right there. All right, got them all installed. Look at that. Now I'm gonna flip this sucker over, tighten it down underneath, make sure everything's good. Show you what my brother's doing. He's valve lapping over here. Fun stuff, especially when you gotta do it by hand. Gotta keep on going, guys. So stay tuned, and I'll keep recording here, little by little. So we have the heads here almost complete. New valve seats right there installed. New springs coming in as well. So this is the passenger side. Everything's good to go. These are the old springs, and we got the new beehive style springs in there with new valve seats. So that's getting dressed up nice and neat. Again, the cam's not a big lift. It's nowhere near over 600, but being on a little 4.8, that stroke is very short, spins fast. So we want to make sure that these springs can definitely close right back up as soon as that duration is over with on the cam. So yeah, they sit a little bit taller than the stock ones, just by a little bit. So, but obviously, if you need a 600 lift, I really don't suggest it on a 4.8 for sure. But yeah, this the head job's complete. My brother here, he valve lapped them manually with some compound, and sorry I didn't really get to doing that because I was putting together the engine over there. Little by little, we're just trying to get this all done. It's a snazzy little tool here. It's helping out a lot. But yeah, both exhaust and intake valves nice and grounded down. So let's take a look at them. This is our intake. Nice and polished up, cleaned up. Trying to get a nice little visual here. You can see the seat. Nice and shiny. Here you go. We're going to install it. Oh, look at the seats. Nice and grounded down. There you go, boy. We got our exhaust. Same thing. Nice and grounded. You just shoot them through. Got our tool on. Start wrenching it down. Is that a 13 millimeter? Yeah, sweet deal. So as it compresses it down, just check your adjustment. Make sure everything's nice and uniform for both sides. Now we got a little bit of the lip for the valves. We'll make sure they're pushed in all the way, starting with the intake. Put one retainer locking nut, and they're beveled, so the narrow portion does point downward, and then the thicker portion goes towards the top. You'll notice that as you do it. Just kind of shim them in. And they'll give you headaches. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it, I should say. But that's what it's kind of looking like. The valve, the retainer, the seat. Again, we're going to push up on that exhaust. And this camera gets out of focus so much. There's that. There we go. It's coming up. The retainer started to sit on the valve. That's it. If it doesn't stay on and you feel pressure still coming up from that nut, chances are those locking retainers aren't sitting on that groove correctly. So it's trial by error. Just keep going. Like I said, so all these went through that same step with some new seats. And we bought this, or I ended up buying this tool. This doesn't really work. We do use this though, for sure. This is a more important part than this. And then obviously once we have this, I'll definitely give them a quick little slap or a hit, a rubber mallet. That way we make sure all those retainers are nice and seated. That's a good thing to do. But yeah, that was pretty much it. So when you're doing the valve seats, when you're putting on those little hats, I use a spark plug socket just so it grabs the bottom of the seat. This grabs the top portion of it where like the little blue rubber, you can see it, it's blue because it just kind of marred it. So I was like, that's not good. I don't want any damaged products. So I went with the spark plug socket, went with this. This little hoop goes on here, then you'll use a flat to push down on it. And that's how you'll press them on. So obviously use some lubricant, those hats slide right in. And yeah, it'll come with your kit. So if you end up purchasing the cam, first we got to hear it. This is a prototype. I want to see how it performs. And if it does perform well, I'll end up putting it for sale. We'll probably just do direct messaging through Instagram. I'll be sure to include the correct springs to go with it, as well as the seats for the valves. So it should be inclusive. And as for the tool, I'll try to include it as well. I'll try to do like a bundle kit with it. But for the most part, that's pretty much it. I'll be sure to put my lifters in. I got them bathing. And yeah, we'll go from there. I'll do my lifters with the trays. And that's it. We'll go from there. But for the most part, heads are done. We are good to go. Nice and polished up. Cleaned up as good as possible. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.